Welcome to Scare Talk, a horror movie podcast for horror film reviews, ratings, rankings, and rumors. Now for your hosts, Danny, Joel, and Katrina.
Ooh, yeah, this is Scare Talk. I am Danny, and I'm here with Jennifer Love Hewitt, Joel. Yeah.
Hey guys, what's up? Oh man.
Yeah, we just
J-Lo. J-Love.
J-Love. So it's just the original two members today.
Yep.
Katrina is no longer with us. No, I'm just kidding. She is sick, so she wasn't up to recording this episode today. But the show must go on because it is 4th of July, everybody, and we've got a summer review for you. This movie takes place on 4th of July, and we're going to do actually two reviews today.
2 for 1.
Yeah, you're in for a double feature. We're going to be talking about I Know What You Did Last Summer and I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. Yeah. All right, Joel. Who is a part of I Know What You Did Last Summer?
All right. So, I Know What You Did Last Summer stars Jennifer Love Hewitt. She, I went back to the beginning of her career and went up.
Okay.
So we're going to be talking about her for I Still Know also. So, and she was in Sister Act 2, Back in the Habit.
Back in the Habit? That's what it's called?
Back in the Habit, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Can't Hardly Wait.
Mm-hmm.
And 100 episodes of Party of Five.
Mm-hmm.
As well as, so I'm a little confused on this because it's a movie that's in development right now. But it's I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's supposed to be a remake or if it's supposed to be a sequel because it's rumored right now that both Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr. are going to be in it.
Yeah.
So
that's what I heard.
Don't know what that means.
Yeah. I heard Freddie Prinze Jr. said that was a rumor and he's actually never even been approached about doing the movie.
I think I did hear something about that.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it says that they're rumored right now. So who knows what that means.
Yeah.
And also stars Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Yeah.
She was in Cruel Intentions, 145 episodes of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and Scooby-Doo 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And then I put Ryan Philippe because I'm going to talk about Freddie Prinze Jr. in the other one.
Okay.
And they were all kind of like the same. Like they were all, had pretty much the same amount of screen time. So,
right.
Like whatever. So Ryan Philippe, he was in The Lincoln Lawyer, Crash, and Cruel Intentions with Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And this was written by the man, the myth, the legend, Kevin Williamson. We talked about this guy a bunch of times. He definitely loves those teen dramas. He wrote The Faculty. The Following, 45 episodes with Kevin Bacon, which was the idea of The Following was supposed to be Scream 3, which I really wish they had gone with that.
Yeah,
The Following is actually
a
good show.
Yeah.
And yeah. 128 episodes of Dawson's Creek and 171 episodes of The Vampire Diaries. So he is...
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. He's a creator of both those shows.
Okay. Nice.
And then we got the director. This also was this was based on a novel as well.
Yeah.
Very loosely based. Apparently, I guess like a lot of it wasn't. It was very like loosely based on the novel, which kind of makes me want to read the novel. See what's missing from that. This was directed by Jim Gillespie. He directed IEYECU, which was a
Oh
Sylvester
yeah, yeah.
Stallone, the
Mm-hmm.
Sylvester Stallone crime thriller.
Mm-hmm.
Venom, which was a 2005 horror movie,
Okay.
and Billionaire Ransom. So
All
I
right.
don't know. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, for the synopsis, four young friends bound by a tragic accident are reunited when they find themselves being stalked by a hook wielding maniac in their small seaside town.
Whoa.
And since Katrina is not here today, I will be going over the Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb scores. So,
All right.
Joel, you already looked at these? I know you did last summer.
I think I saw the second. I think I saw I Still Know. I don't think I looked at.
Okay.
I Know You Did this summer.
Okay. What would your guess be for the tomato meter, the critic score?
Critics don't typically like horror movies very well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
There's
this was like a
76 reviews, by the way, for critics.
oh man. All right. um, I I would say in the 50s
Okay.
because I
You're
don't
close.
think that's. I mean, I don't know. It's a weird time. Like in the mid to late 90s was just like a weird time for horror.
Yeah.
In that they're not. Most of them were basically just like fun little whatever horror movies like little slashers.
Yeah.
They weren't really made to be taken too seriously. Um, and I feel like critics that's exactly what they're looking for in movies. I
Yeah.
want to be taken seriously. This is
Right.
art.
Right.
Like it's it can be fun too. You can
Yeah.
relax. um so I would probably say like maybe 55
Okay.
for a critic.
All right. Well, you're close. It's 45
Oh, okay.
for the tomato meter. And yes, I don't think I mentioned this movie came out in 1997.
Yeah.
All right. And then the audience score is a 41. So even lower.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Audience. All right.
Yeah.
Apparently audiences didn't like those types of movies either.
Yeah. I was surprised by that. For IMDb, we have a 5.8.
That's
Um,
it's a little
that's reasonable.
yeah, that's
Yeah. Not too horrible.
Yeah.
So when this first came out, I saw it. I didn't see it in theaters. I saw it on probably VHS at the time, and I loved it. It was it came out the next year after Scream, and it really rode that hype train of Scream and the whole whodunit slasher with the young teen cast, and it really took a lot from what Scream was offering, and made an original movie with some of the same tropes, and it was just a fun time. At this time, you had Scream, Scream 2, I Know What You Did Last Summer, Urban Legend, Urban Legend Final Cut, I think was the sequel to that one. So
he had Bride of Chucky was also in there too.
yeah, Bride of Chucky,
H2O.
Halloween. Yep.
Yeah. So it was a fun time for horror movies. It was they were coming back thanks to Scream. It was kind of a resurgence of all these like teen slasher movies.
Yeah.
And yeah.
But definitely like Scream and the Last Summer franchise and the Urban Legend franchise were the whodunit slasher teen, young adult. And so I
Faculty.
really liked. Yeah, Faculty was in there.
Also.
Yeah.
Kind of a
that one's a little different, but definitely along the same lines. And so I remember really liking this. 97, so I was 10. So
Yeah, a little young to
impressionable
get in theaters to see
10-year-old, and didn't
Mhm.
have the palette that I have now for horror
Yeah.
films. I'm very sophisticated with my
Speaking of those
taste.
critics that that hated on this movie.
hmm But I gotta say, I've seen it over a number of times over the years. But I gotta say, this time around, I just thought it was okay.
hmm
You know, I I'll definitely watch it. Throughout the years of my life, I'll definitely watch it to have some fun. But I definitely
Yeah.
found some pretty big flaws in it this time around.
hmm
So that was kind of disappointing because it's like a childhood, nostalgic
Yeah.
movie, for me. And that's definitely what the charm that it has is definitely nostalgia for me.
hmm
But as an overall movie, it's got some issues. So,
Yeah. At least you don't
what
let
do you think?
the nostalgia cloud your judgment in that, and you can
Right,
actually
right.
find some things wrong with it.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I'm in the same boat. I didn't see this in theaters. I didn't see any of these horror movies in theaters. I was living with my mom. I was like 11 when all these
Yeah,
movies came out,
yeah, yeah.
and she was not a horror fan whatsoever. And so I do remember I watched a couple of these movies on. We had HBO back then, and
hmm
so that um, these movies would first come out to HBO, and then well, at the same time that you could rent them or whatever.
Right,
Um,
right.
so I believe I watched this one for the first time on HBO. Um,
Were you sneaking it? Were you kind of like in your bedroom, like
I,
sneak watching?
so when this came out, I was actually me and my mom were living in LA at the time. It came out in between those 2 years that my mom was remarried and we moved to LA, and
Yeah.
there was a really big, really nice house that we
Ah,
moved
okay.
into.
All right.
And so it wasn't in my room, it was actually like in the den, like living
Oh.
room area, but nobody was around, so
Oh,
so
Joel, you're in big
it was
trouble.
dark,
Nice. I remember, and so that's the thing. Like these movies, we were young, so I
hmm
think, it was horror. It was kind of new. It was, a little bit, R-rated and a little,
yeah, a
a
little bit R-rated. Like there's
little
really not.
risky, like, for a kid to
Yeah.
watch and parents to let them. So I definitely remember when I watched this too. I remember it being during the
hmm
day. I watched it with my dad in the living room. Like, I remember like vividly where I
hmm
was, who I watched it with, and all that. And it sounds like you kind of have the same memory of it as well.
hmm
And it's really not a great movie, not an amazing movie, but there is something
Yeah.
about the um that time where you're first watching your first few horror movies,
hmm
and that memory is going to stick with you.
Yeah. I have a memory similar to this with the next one too. So
Okay, all right,
I
nice.
vividly remember. I vividly remember that one more than I do this one. I'm pretty
Oh,
sure. I'm pretty sure. I'm right about where I was when I watched this one
okay,
for
all
the
right.
first time. But I know for a fact where I was when I watched the next one.
All right. Well, we'll have to fact check you because
Oh yeah,
we know.
exactly. Um. So yeah, I mean, there's definitely a layer of nostalgia for me too with this movie. Um.
Yeah.
And watching it again, still fun,
Yeah.
but it's we just finished, like, not just, but we in the last few months, or well, actually at this point, year or so, finished the Scream movies.
Yeah. Yeah.
um and they're just not on par
Yeah.
at all with those
Yeah.
movies, with
It's really
really
not.
any of them.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate because these movies had potential. I liked the idea behind it. I wish that the that it was more of a whodunit than it actually was, because like you
Mm.
kind of know from the beginning who the killer is. Like it's not really,
Yeah, yeah.
it's
It,
they don't really make it too hidden who the killer
yeah, I
really
mean,
is.
I don't know. I feel like they kind of show who it is, but then
Hmm.
or who I don't know. There's some twists and turns in there because the reveal is not
There's
the dude that was sitting up there, at the very beginning.
yeah, yeah.
So that's kind of, I think, when you first watch it, that's who you think is
Hmm.
gonna be the killer.
Yeah. I
But
mean, yeah.
then
There's
there's
definitely
more
more
to it. But
layers to it,
yeah, but
but
it's not a character you've seen at all through the movie
no,
who ends up
yeah,
being the killer. So that's kind of
yeah,
lame.
yeah. Exactly. I wanted it to be somebody that we've seen.
Yeah,
Although we didn't even see that many people like in the beginning,
yeah,
from the time that the movie starts to the time that they hit the
yeah,
fisherman. You
yeah.
see one other character, and he's the
Right.
first one killed off. So it's like, okay,
Right.
well,
Yeah,
can't be him.
unless it's one of the main characters,
Yeah,
then you know,
yeah.
yeah.
That might have been kind of cool. I don't know.
Well, that's what Scream did, you know.
Yeah,
Scream each one, even though the third one's
but
kind of a lame reveal, each one
yeah,
has a real like a relative character who's relevant to the movie
hmm,
who ends up being the
yeah,
killer. Whereas this one, it's just a character at the very end who ends up being the killer.
yeah,
So I see
yeah.
it.
But
I can appreciate
but
that.
with those though, compared to this one, those characters weren't like involved in something huge like this hit
Right.
and run, and then
Right.
like somehow that changes you over the year or whatever, and
Hmm.
makes you become this killer.
Yeah.
Um, that would have been kind of interesting, and if they were going that route, I would have believed that it would have been like the Ryan Philippe character, because he was just like always kind of out of his mind anyway.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we got to get into the characters because that's
Yeah, yeah.
probably my biggest issue with this movie. These
Oh,
characters.
really? The
Yeah,
characters,
two
yeah.
of them, specifically,
Hmm.
um,
The guys,
are horrible. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Horrible in different ways, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, but yeah, the reveal is a little lame. I do
Hmm.
like the twists and turns of the story and kind of how it
Yeah.
makes you think one thing and then maybe it could be this other thing, and kind of
Hmm.
you have to kind of see it through to the end,
Yeah.
because it kind of leans in different directions with who the killer could be, but then ultimately it just being this character that we haven't seen through the whole movie that kind of is lame.
Hmm.
So,
And on that note, R.I.P. Anne Heche.
oh yeah, that's right.
She was in this
Yeah,
for a minute,
yeah, she was. I forgot that she had
giving.
passed away.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but she definitely gave off that vibe of maybe she's the killer. It was one of
Hmm.
those
Yeah.
characters that could have been. Um, so
Hmm.
now some things that I did like about this, like I said, the story I did enjoy, um, up until like the reveal,
Hmm.
and I like the whodunits. I like the teen slashers. Those are always
Yeah.
fun. I'm a sucker for those, as I have my Friday the 13th shirt on.
Yeah.
Teen slasher,
Yeah.
one of the originals. Um,
Hmm.
and it has a cool like 90s soundtrack to it. The kills are
Total
pretty
90s.
good with the hook. I like the weapon choice. I
Hmm.
like the look of the killer, the fisherman, like with the hood and everything, so you can't see their face.
Yeah.
So all that stuff I like. It's very 90s, um,
Hmm.
which again, is the nostalgia factor that
Hold,
kind of hits you if you're from the
hold,
90s.
sorry. Did you hit record?
Yes.
Okay. Because I can usually see the time on my screen and I can't
Oh,
see it.
yeah, no,
So-
it's going. It's going.
Okay. Okay, good. Sorry.
You all right over there?
Yeah, my phone fell.
Oh, okay.
Anyway.
So yeah, I like all that stuff. You know, it has a lot going for it.
Mhm.
What about you? What kind of stuff did you enjoy?
I like the fisherman. I wish, like we were talking about, I wish that it was someone that we already met before, or someone
Yeah.
that we already knew. But that aside, like I like that the style, the look. The hook is definitely unique. It's not very practical as a weapon,
Yeah,
but it's different, so I like that.
not very practical.
Well, I mean, it's just you have to get them at and it's a small hook too, so you really have
Yeah.
to get like really close to them, and at least a knife, like you
Yeah.
can slash, you can. It's hard to slash with a hook, like you have to
Yeah.
really like dig in there.
Yeah,
And I like the setting. You don't see the setting
Yeah,
of
me
like
too.
the fisherman town kind
yeah.
of setting very often.
I like that too. I like that.
And I so the kills were good. I wish there was a little bit more blood in the kills.
Sure. Yeah.
There's like I think one scene of blood, and that's the first kill where he like gets him underneath the chin and just like
Mhm.
drags him across the table.
Mhm.
It was like a streak of blood.
Yeah.
But I do like the chase scene with Sarah Michelle Gellar. Her
Mhm.
like final,
Oh, yeah.
her final chase scene that she's got
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
a lot
Through the like tires and stuff. I was like, why are all these tires? in
yeah,
here?
yeah. The whole little alleyway scene was a little
Yeah.
weird, but but going through like her like the business, the work,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
with adding more casualties to it because her sister is also there too, and
Yep. Yeah.
which is another character that I'm not too fond of, but
Yeah.
there's really like two characters I actually kind of liked in this, and that's Sarah Michelle Gellar and Jennifer Love Hewitt. Like it's
Same here.
I had an issue with everyone else, like just very different ways.
Yeah.
So yeah. I mean, it for what it was, it's a fun movie. It's
Mhm.
and like you're saying, it is still a movie that I can definitely see myself watching throughout the years.
Yeah.
Just not taking it seriously because it
Right.
doesn't even take itself seriously. It's a
Right.
it's a teen drama slasher movie that's just for fun.
Yeah.
It's just like it's really something. So kind of thing.
So yeah, let's talk about the characters a little bit. So Ryan Philippe, he's like this hothead jerk, jock. I don't even know if he's a jock. Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
High school kid, and then it's like their senior year or whatever. So then the next summer, he's I guess an adult.
Yeah.
But
Hey,
he's
killing someone will do that to you.
Yeah.
Make you grow up real quick.
Yeah. He's just so over the top with how aggressive he is, especially with the girls.
Yeah.
And it's just like, dude, calm down. I don't like you. And what bothered me probably more than him is Freddie Prinze Jr.'s character and how he just let him do this stuff.
Complete opposite type of like mentality.
Yeah, he's like, going up
got his girlfriend.
choking.
Yeah, he's got his girlfriend by the throat. And he's like, leave her alone, Barry. Like, what are you?
And he like whispers it to him. Like,
yeah,
really? That's your response, huh?
Yeah.
You guys just like basically killed a person,
Yeah.
and he goes and grabs your girlfriend by the throat
Yeah.
and leave her alone. Like, come
Leave
on,
her
man.
alone. Like, come on, man. Like,
And that's the thing. I remember watching this, and I mean, I don't know if this is what I thought when I watched it, but this current time when I watched it, I thought, oh yeah, Freddie Prinze Jr. He's like the hero. Like he's like kind of the cool guy, the badass of the movie. Not at all.
no.
Not at
No.
all. He is pretty much a wuss throughout most
Yeah.
of this movie, and then at the end, he kind of,
Hmm.
saves the day a little bit. But man, he was bothering me with like how he would just let his name Barry,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
do all this
Barry
stuff
was
with the
Ryan
girls.
Philippe's name.
Yeah, it's too much, man.
Yeah, no. It's like, dude, come on. Like, he's choking out your girlfriend. Like, what are you?
What are you doing with your life?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, those were the biggest issues that I had with the characters was those two.
Hmm.
Sarah Michelle Gellar and Jennifer Love Hewitt did fine. I thought they
Yeah.
did pretty good for just
Hmm.
what they had to work with, and the classic Jennifer Love Hewitt scene where she's like,
Yeah.
"What are you
Screaming like,
waiting for?"
yeah.
Is that what
It
she says?
wouldn't
What are you waiting
something
for? Or something like
something
that.
like that.
Yeah,
Yeah. I think
spinning
yeah.
around. Yeah,
Yeah. It's like raining.
yeah, classic.
Yeah.
I don't know why that's so classic, but it is.
Because she does it twice. She does it in both movies.
Oh, okay.
Because
Okay.
it's just like
Oh
her
yeah,
thing.
she does do it in the second movie. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I think even without the second movie, like I feel like that scene like stands out. I don't know
I
why.
remember that scene was in Scary
Scary
Movie.
movie, probably.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
It really
yeah.
stands
Because
out. I don't know.
yeah, it does.
It's a good scene. Um, and yeah, I like some of the like. I don't know if I would call them pranks, but how the killer's kind of messing with them, like cutting her hair and
Yeah.
sending the letters. I know what you did last summer, and
Hmm.
all that stuff is kind of cool too.
Yeah.
That's really what this movie is known for is the I know what you did last summer stuff.
Yeah. Hmm.
And the hit and run and someone coming back for you the next year to get revenge. And like I said, I like some of the twists and turns with who you think might be the killer and who, then they get killed off and it's like, oh, okay, that can't be the killer.
Yeah.
And I don't remember when I first saw it if I knew that it was going to be this character we hadn't seen.
Hmm.
I think I was probably trying to figure who it was that we had seen in the movie.
Yeah.
But it's a fun time to try to guess.
Well, I mean, so watching it this time, the reason I say it kind of makes it obvious is when they hit the fisherman and dumped his body in the water, he grabs the crown
Yeah,
before he goes under, and so Barry goes and gets it, and he opens his eyes, and when Barry's swimming away, he turns his body and looks up at him. He's not dead.
yeah,
Like there's so that's why I was like, it kind of makes it kind of obvious that he's going to be the killer because he's
Yeah.
not actually dead. He
Right.
can't be a character that we've already seen before because we're just seeing him now in the water, the person
Yeah.
that they hit.
Yeah,
So it's like I don't know. There definitely, if he had like grabbed the crown as he was going under and that was it, then okay, I can see, because sometimes the body will like spasm when it's dead, and maybe that's
Mhm.
that's the hand spasming is grabbing the crown and then going under. But he's looking up at Barry
Yeah.
as he's
Yeah.
swimming. Like, you're not
Yeah.
dead. You're gonna get out of that water in a second here. So
Right. Well, and I think and the characters thought that it was him as well throughout the movie. They
yeah.
thought it was this person who they looked into, and who had committed suicide or an accident or whatever they called it in the newspaper. But it ended up being a different person. So I think that's kind of like the cool little twist to it. It wasn't who the main characters thought it was. It was this other dude who, was there as well. So, but yeah, I guess we know it's not going to be a character that we've seen throughout the movie. Or, because they didn't even add any new characters. Like a year later.
Yeah.
I mean,
they really,
they
added the roommate, her,
oh yeah.
Julie's
Jennifer
roommate,
Love,
who,
yeah.
But she just dropped her off at home, and that was it.
Yeah.
And we don't see her again after that. So
yeah, if they would have added that fisherman to some other piece to the movie, then it would have been a little cooler, because it would have been like, oh man, it's him.
Yeah,
that big reveal would have been more impactful. So
I have a problem similar to that with the next one that we're going to talk about too. So
okay,
but yeah, so yeah, it's. I think it would have made it more enjoyable if so. It's been like a day from recording this that I watched the movie. I can't remember if they actually specified that NH's brother actually killed himself, or is there room for speculation that maybe the fisherman killed him, since they were both there at the same time, like or around the same time, I guess.
I don't know that there's any proof of that, because it was his daughter's like boyfriend or whatever who was gonna kill himself, because that's where she had died or something, right?
Something like that. Yeah.
So he could have been going there to avenge his daughter's death and kill this guy, but he was already gonna kill himself. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, because he's
or maybe he wasn't.
He's kind of crazy.
He was
like he's a homicidal maniac.
Yeah.
Who's, these kids left you for dead. That sucks, and I'm glad that their life kind of got ruined after that, because kind of deserved it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like he's stalking all of these kids and kills two of them. Like that's not something that just happens after you get hit. Like that's in you already. So I'm like, the fact that there were two people around the same time out there, like kind of at dusk or like at night or whatever, like kind of, I don't know. That's speculation, because I don't think we actually, but it's.
Could have pushed him. Yeah. And we don't know. Well, no, he did leave a note. I was going to say, we don't know if that dude was just sitting there because, it's like the memorial of his girlfriend or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He's just remembering her and, going to the site of the accident. But I guess he did leave a note that that's what he was doing. So, I mean, he could have pushed him. We don't know.
I was going to jump anyway, but now you're a killer, so cool.
Yeah, thanks. Okay, so two things I want to mention that are bad, negatives, and just kind of funny, though, at the same time. There's a scene where Barry is like convinced that it's Freddie Prinze Jr.'s character is like messing with them. Yeah. And he like walks up to him and he's like, what does he say? Like, you're a dead man or something.
Oh yeah.
And he goes to punch him and Freddie Prinze Jr. is like falling down before he even is really close to landing the punch, and the sound effect of the punch. It's bad. It's bad. It's really not choreographed very well. They should have shot that another time.
A couple of times, probably.
Yeah, it was not a very convincing reaction to a punch, and
Yeah.
or a convincing sound of a punch. So
Hmm.
there's that. And then
Yeah.
Katrina, while we were watching, pointed something out that was really funny. So toward the end of the movie, Sarah Michelle Gellar's like, she's on a float, it's the parade. She was like the year before's like beauty contest winner or whatever.
Hmm.
And so she's on the float, and they're all there to try to see if this fisherman is going to strike, right?
Yeah.
And so everybody's kind of on the lookout. And so later in the movie, when we're on the boat of the killer,
Mhm.
Julie's on the boat, she sees like a shrine to them. And one of the pictures is of Sarah Michelle Gellar on that float from like 10 minutes earlier in the movie.
Oh, wow.
So he would have had to have photographed, and this is
Yeah.
not, this is 97, so you have to like go and get your picture developed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. This is not like,
Oh,
something
man.
you can just do on a boat. So
Hmm.
yeah, so that was just kind of
That's-
funny. Like, wow, he got that
that's funny.
developed fast.
Yeah. They got
On the
that
4th
1
of
hour
July.
photo place. Like, yeah.
So yeah, she was like, wow, he got that developed fast. And they like look really
That's
like
funny.
it's clear in his shrine, it's not like it's it's clear as day that that's what the picture is. And
Yeah.
it's like, because I think he had some other pictures of like he was just watching them, right? So it was like from
Hmm.
other parts of the movie, which makes sense. But why'd you
Yeah.
have to put that one in there?
Yeah.
Like that's the
Yeah.
one that doesn't make sense. So
I
leave
know.
that out. Yeah. So that was pretty funny. Definitely
That's
a missed flaw that they should have
Yeah.
cleaned up.
It seems like it's a pretty obvious one that they should have been able to
Yeah.
catch too. Like,
Yeah, I've never caught it, and I've seen it a number
mean,
of times. I've never
haven't
caught
e-
it.
yeah, I haven't either. But like, you guys work on the set of
Yeah.
this thing. Like,
Yeah, this is your
you
movie.
know when this. you probably see this every time you walk by it. Like, it's
Yeah. Someone's got to notice it. Yeah,
yeah. That's
or to
funny.
even have the idea to put that there.
Yeah.
Why would you even come up with that idea?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, I know it's kind of like a creepy thing for him to have a shrine, but not that picture though.
Well, I mean, that's fine. You can have a shrine. Like,
Yeah.
That's not
Yeah,
what the
that's
issue
good.
is.
Yeah.
Oh,
Anyways.
that's funny.
All right, so let's go ahead and rate this one, and then
All
we'll
right.
get into I Still Know What You Did
Yes.
Last Summer.
Oh yeah.
All right, so what do you got?
So for this one, I'm gonna give this one an 82.
Okay.
It's
I'm gonna
above
go
a B, so
Yeah,
or yeah, above a C.
I'm gonna go 75.
Okay.
I think it's okay. It's
Mhm.
fun. I'll watch it again. But it has some issues, so
Oh yeah.
it's okay. I'll give it a 75.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So now for our second review, doing the 2-for-1, we got I Still Know What You Did Last Summer from 1998. Comes out just a year later.
A year. Yep.
Probably came out in the summer, I imagine. So this is like in real time,
Yeah. Yeah.
It's literally a year later.
4th of July weekend.
Yeah.
Actually, don't know. That's actually kind of
It's an interesting thing to look into.
yeah. Look that up.
I'll look that up. You go ahead and tell us who's a part of this.
All right. So you gotta make sure I have the okay. Okay, I got it. So this one stars Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Yeah.
She was in Heartbreakers, Garfield 1 and 2, 107 episodes of Ghost Whisperer.
Oh man,
And-
hold on. November
What?
13th.
Really?
Didn't even come out in the summer.
Oh wow!
Yeah, that's horrible.
I mean, I guess
horrible
I mean,
marketing.
Yeah, horror movies. October is kind of
Yeah.
the fall is the horror season, but
Yeah.
don't base your movies in the fourth in summer if you're not going to release them then. And we got 86 episodes of 911.
Oh yeah.
I saw a couple. It's a pretty good show. I've seen a couple
Yeah.
episodes of it. And then we got Brandy. Good old
Oh
Brandy.
yeah. Singer. R&B.
Yep. Singer and mostly TV actress.
Okay.
She played in that 97 TV movie Cinderella.
Oh
That had,
yeah.
I think Whitney Houston was in that too.
I think Oprah was in that. I could be completely wrong.
Probably. This is the wicked stepmother.
I don't know. I could be very wrong about that. For some reason, that came to my mind.
And she was in 127 episodes of Moesha. I forgot she had her own show, like back in the 90s, early 2000s. And 60 episodes of The Game.
Okay.
And then we got Freddie Prinze Jr.
Oh no, I'm thinking of Whoopi Goldberg. That's who's in it, not Oprah.
Oh,
I don't know why.
okay. Yeah, I mean she's been in stuff too. So.
Anyways,
in the height of her TV career, she's starring in other stuff. Freddie Prinze Jr. He was in She's All That. He was in a lot of like chick flicks in like the 90s, early 2000s. He was also in Scooby-Doo 1 and 2. And 24 episodes of 24.
Yeah.
A full season. And 22 episodes of Freddy. Apparently he had his own show as well.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. He played Freddy in Freddy. His name's
right.
Freddy. It's crazy how that works. This was written by Trey Calloway. We got a different writer for this one. And he wrote 18 episodes of CSI New York. 5 episodes of Revolution. 4 episodes of 911 Lone Star, which was they already had another spin-off of that show. And so this is his first credited thing, which I don't know if you remember this or not. I totally do. But he wrote 5 episodes of Timon and Pumbaa.
Oh yeah,
cartoon.
yeah, from Lion King.
Yeah.
That's funny. All right, not much of a horror writer, I guess.
No, not really. No.
All right.
And this was directed by Danny Cannon. He directed Judge Dredd, the OG Judge Dredd. 25 episodes of CSI. 11 episodes of Gotham, which I think he also was a creator of as well. And Goal, The Dream Begins, which is that soccer movie. I think I kind of remember that cover of of that movie from Hollywood Video. So he directed that one. Along with I Still Know You Did That Summer. So
random.
Yeah. Both of these guys are very random with what they've done.
All right. So the synopsis: the murderous fisherman with a hook is back to once again stalk the 2 surviving teens, Julie and Ray. Ray is his name.
Ray, yeah.
Who had left him for dead, as well as cause even more murder and mayhem, this time at a posh island resort. So that just kind of gives away who the killer is, and well, at least one of the killers.
There's multiple killers in this? What?
There
Craziness. I have an issue with that, by the way, but we'll get into that.
Okay. So let's talk about the tomato meter. Rotten Tomatoes. We got 57 reviews from critics, and they gave it a 7%.
Yeah, I think that was the one I saw. I was like, wow, you're gonna go from
Yeah.
I mean, still 43 was a really low, 45 was a really low score anyway, but
Yeah.
that's a drop.
Yeah. Very bad.
45-7, man.
Then we got audience score 29%. So, very, very bad movie, according to Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
And then on IMDb, we have a 4.7. So, as we've talked about in other episodes, under the 5 mark, you're kind of, if you're a horror fan, and you're under the 5 on IMDb, you're kind of hit and miss, mostly miss, I would say. There are some that are enjoyable that are in the 4s. But for the most part, it's got to be a 5 or higher for it to be more often than not a pretty good movie for horror.
Mm-hmm.
So this one goes under that 5 threshold. So let's see what we thought. So, Joel, where did you first experience this film?
That's right. So I did not see this one in theaters. I remember that so my stepmom at the time hated horror movies. And so she was on some, I think, church retreat or something that weekend. And so my dad my dad rented I Still Know What You Did Last Summer.
Okay, hold on. So for I Know What You Did Last Summer, you were with your mom. And I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, you had moved back and lived with your dad? Or
No, I hadn't moved in. I was just there.
You were like visiting? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't actually end up moving in until I was in the high school. So I was still a couple years before that. But I was there for the summer.
Gotcha.
And so we rented it, and this was a Saturday night. I didn't even know what night it was, and because it plays into to the story too. So we rented the movie. It was me, my dad, and my sister, and we all watched it. And after it was done, we stopped the movie, and on TV was Saturday Night Live, and Jennifer Love Hewitt was hosting. And there was a duet that they were in the middle of with the Fishermen from I Know You Did Last Summer. so I was like, it's so perfect.
That's funny. Yeah. So you must have watched it like right when it came out to rent, since they were probably promoting it, right?
Yeah. It was like it was a new release, and so yeah,
that's cool.
I was just like, that's crazy. That
the timing,
the perfect timing. Not only was she like hosting, but they were also doing this like duet together.
Yeah,
like, okay,
because she was a singer for a little bit. She had some songs and stuff. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, she was. Yeah,
nice.
Got a couple of singers in this one.
Yeah.
Should have done a song together. Like that would have been really good marketing for the movie.
Could have put it on a soundtrack.
Yeah.
So for me, basically the same story as I Know What You Did Last Summer. Rented it, probably VHS, and watched it with my dad in the living room. Nice. For this one, I want to say it was during the day and not at night, but I'm not 100% sure. I do remember thinking it was okay. I think I had my hopes up because I loved I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yeah.
And so I was excited for a sequel. And I remember thinking it was just okay. Kind of wasn't like that, excited about it after watching it. So,
yeah.
And now watching it again, I definitely have only seen this one a few times. over the years. Definitely seen it less than I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yeah.
And so I didn't remember this one as well as I Know What You Did Last Summer. And yeah, this time around, it's just not very good. It's okay. Not as good as I Know You Did Last Summer. And so it's going to get a lower score than that. And then, yeah, it's going to get a decently low score for me.
Okay.
There are some things I liked. I
Yeah.
like the characters are pretty good. Mekhi Phifer is also in it. He's kind of funny.
The characters are good. Mekhi Pfeiffer's in it.
Well, you
Really
didn't mention him.
No, I know. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. Yeah.
So he's in it. His character's kind of funny. Jack Black is in it.
Jack, he's in it.
His character's
Doing his
kind of
Jack
funny,
Black
but
thing.
kind of weird and random for him to be in it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I don't think this movie needed any comic relief.
No, not really.
So it was kind of like out of place for him to be in it. I don't know. It was a little weird.
It's to add to the personality of the characters. Like, you don't
Yeah.
have a goofy personality like
Yeah.
that in any of the other ones. So it's like,
True.
it's whatever. Like, you're at a resort, you're going to meet a bunch of different types of people.
Yeah. There is one twist to the movie that I did like. How the killer got them all to the resort, I thought was pretty clever. I liked that a lot.
Yeah.
Ray's story was better. I liked him much more in this one than in the first one. He is more heroic and, a little more of a, I don't know, likable guy, I guess. Trying to save the day.
Not for the first half, but he was kind of a
yeah. He's kind of a jerk.
Kind of sucks
but,
until he's actually like on his way. He actually figures out what's going on. Mm-hmm. Somehow, he's just like, I need to buy a gun. I need to go to the Bahamas because my girlfriend's in trouble, even though I was attacked here.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, now that I think about that, why was he attacked? Who attacked him?
The fisherman. They were driving. Apparently, you can drive to the Bahamas. I think they were going somewhere to get a fisherman a boat of like somewhere. But then like he saw someone like on the ground by the truck.
Okay.
Stopping to help him out, and then it turned out to be a dummy, and then his friend gets killed. His friend who was an identity gets killed.
Yeah.
Another good one.
That's right. Yeah, they make it seem like, and I don't know like how far away from the coast the Bahamas is, but it makes it seem like in this movie it's like just like a ferry ride to get
down
over
the
there.
street.
Like, it's just like you could swim there basically. Because I was thinking like, how did he get attacked there? But by the fisherman, but the fisherman was able to get to the Bahamas. But I guess Ray was able to get to the Bahamas too. So whatever. It's really easy to get to in a very quick amount of time.
Because we're in an unestablished location. Like we don't even know where we're at and to begin with in this fisherman town, right? I don't think.
Well, I think
like New England. I'm assuming.
I think they mention it. I don't remember, but it's on the East Coast somewhere.
The Bahamas from New England.
It's on the East Coast somewhere that they mention it. But it's not realistic as far as getting to the Bahamas that quickly. So
no, no.
And Brandy's okay. She's whatever. Just another person, another character.
Yeah.
And I don't remember the dude's name that's like obsessed with Jennifer Love Hewitt. He like wants to get with her. Will, yeah.
Will.
He was kind of annoying throughout the movie. It's like, you know that this girl has a boyfriend, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's like, I mean, I know he had
Well,
other intentions,
So
but
that's why I don't like Brandy's character, is because
yeah, she was really pushing that.
she was pushing it, and she just was not a good friend, like, at all
No.
in this
No.
entire movie. So I don't know. I think the only characters I liked were Jennifer Love Hewitt and, well, I mean, I guess I have to add Freddie Prinze to this one.
Yeah.
Because I did end up liking him. I didn't like him at all in the beginning. Like, come on, dude. Like,
yeah. Yeah, I
I
didn't
don't
like
know.
him very much in the beginning, but at least I don't know. He was better, even though I didn't like his character very much. Maybe it was the acting was better or something. I don't know. It was more digestible. His performance and his character and his relationship with Julie and stuff was a little more. I was a little more invested. I cared about him and her.
Yeah.
And then then definitely his character got better throughout the movie. So I would agree. The other characters were not great.
Mekhi Phifer was just kind of the worst.
He was a little much. Yeah, he was a little much. He was kind of
He was
funny,
the Ryan Philippe
but
in this movie. It's just like,
he just wanted to have
too
sex.
much.
That's all, that was all he was there for. And that joke kind of ran dry as the movie went on. It's like, okay, it's kind of funny, but that's all you got. You're just kind of a one-trick pony, and that's all you are going to talk about every time. So
the guy can't stay alive in movies, man. In horror movies.
Yeah.
He was in Dawn of the Dead also. Yeah, but his kill was really cool though. That one was like the kill that took me by surprise.
Yeah.
For sure. Which brings me to, is it great? No, it's not by any stretch of the imagination. Is it great? It definitely has plot holes in it. It's got more than the first one for sure. But I don't know. I liked it slightly more than the first one.
Okay. All right.
Bigger body count. There's more.
You're on an island with that one. I don't think many people would agree.
So this was the one I did see the Rotten Tomatoes score for, and I was like 7%.
Yeah.
And then just 9% for audience
something like
scores.
That. Yeah.
And a 4.7 for IMDb. Like, it's at least a 5. Come on.
Yeah, I would definitely give it a 5.2.
Like,
yeah.
It's got, like I was saying, it's got a bigger body count than the first one did. It's bloodier. It's what you want in a slasher movie. Like, it's actually got the slashes in this movie.
Yeah.
I am not a fan of the like what you like the twist that you do like the whole like how they got to the bombs. I don't. It's when you get an answer wrong to a question like that, you're putting your, like, I didn't know that it wasn't the right answer.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that there's a bunch of people that were watching this movie who did know.
Yeah.
And so for that, it's like, no, she got it wrong.
That's true.
Like, it gives it away that's it's someone involved. This isn't just like, oh, they're going to a trip to the Bahamas and the killer just happens to be there. No, this was set up from that point.
That's true. I was thinking about that this time watching it. Like, if I knew that was the wrong answer, that would be really weird.
Yeah.
For them to win. And I would be like, am I wrong? I think I know the right answer. I'd be a little confused. Like, okay, maybe they don't know. Does this movie, the writers, like, do they have false information or
do their research before making this movie?
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. They should have made it. I like the whole radio station and all of that,
Mhm.
and the call, and which radio stations don't really call you, but
No, they don't.
back in the 90s, that was kind of a thing where it was
Well, you still called them though. Like
yeah,
the whole calling the radio station for like tickets to whatever was
yeah,
definitely popular in like the 90s, early 2000s. My dad won a bunch of stuff from doing that, but you
yeah,
still had to call them. Like they don't
yeah.
randomly call people. Like that's not
They,
that's not how that works.
I feel like I've seen that before, like radio stations calling people back in the 90s, but I think it wasn't like you can win a trip to the Bahamas. It wasn't
Oh yeah,
wasn't
no.
like something like that. It was more of
Yeah.
a like pranks or like
Yeah, well, yeah.
things like that,
Hmm.
not to this degree. And but I do like the whole radio station thing and the getting the
And-
answer right or whatever. So she should have just got the answer right,
Yeah, exactly.
right?
Or what would have happened? Because he was counting down. He was at like 1. What would happen if they didn't give him the answer?
Yeah, yeah. Good point. Yeah, this whole movie wouldn't exist. His whole
I
plot
know.
would
Man.
just be unraveled. Oh man, I counted down too quickly.
I gotta call him again.
Yeah, I guess I won't kill her. I'll wait until next year.
Yeah. The end.
Yeah, that is a good
man.
point. Yeah, so yeah, they should have just had her get it right,
Yeah.
but then you wouldn't have the whole twist, the line where it was
when they figure out that
when they figure
it's
out
not-
like, oh, I didn't even get the right answer. What's going on? Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Well, you didn't. Okay, you already have another twist that the guy is a killer too.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you don't need another twist on top of
Yeah.
that. Like
Yeah. I guess, that part was unnecessary, them getting it wrong and then discovering that they got it wrong. And then 2 minutes later, they discovered it was the other dude that was the disc jockey or whatever. So, yeah, that wasn't necessary. I agree.
So the other twist, it's fine that one of their group, like what we were talking about with the first one, where it was someone in their group that's the killer.
Yeah.
It would have worked better, in my opinion, if we had known what his last name was from the start. If we had known that his last name was Benson, and like
Yeah.
I wouldn't have.
I thought that
wouldn't
was
have
so
caught that.
dumb.
It is. It's really stupid because that's the name of the fisherman. His name's Ben. But if we
I'm
hadn't-
Ben's son.
Yeah.
So dumb.
But if we
Get
had
it?
known, yeah, I wouldn't have put that together if I had
Yeah.
already known that
Yeah.
his last name was Benson. Like it's
Yeah.
Benson. It's an actual
Right. It's a-
name. Like
It's
it's
a
not
common name. Yeah.
It's not crazy. And
Yeah.
then to find out it's Ben's son, like, oh man. Like it still would have been dumb, but it would have worked better. as a
Yeah.
twist.
The whole thing would have been executed a little better if we would have known
Yeah.
that was his
Like,
last name.
oh man,
Because they just randomly threw that in there. Like,
Yeah.
It's like, okay. Like,
Ben's
it's
son,
stupid
like,
for one thing, but then
Yeah.
also we didn't even know this. So,
I know.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that whole thing was for her, not for us. Like,
Yeah,
okay.
this fictional character. It's supposed to be for the audience, not for the fictional characters.
Yeah, exactly. It would have been like,
Yeah.
oh, that was, they mentioned that in the beginning or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, that his name
Yeah.
was Benson.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I agree.
It's cool that there were two. It makes the first movie kind of make more sense that maybe his son was helping him with some of the
Yeah,
pranks that
could
was
have been.
going on.
Yeah,
Because that whole cleaning out the car, like
Mhm.
how there was a body in there in the first movie, like
Yeah.
crabs and stuff.
yeah.
Would have made more sense if there were two people doing that, like
right.
cleaning it out instead of just one.
Yeah,
So
yeah, because that would have been quite a job to do so quickly.
in the daylight. Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like cleaned out, like it's
Yeah,
like
it's
spotless trunk.
It's been vacuumed and just like
Shampooed, man.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So having a helper like that kind of makes retroactively
Yeah.
helps the first movie with some of the stuff, but
Yeah, I don't think they mention that. Do they mention that he was a part of the first
well,
movie?
they
Yeah.
don't at all. But
Yeah.
it makes sense because he
Right, it
still would
could
have
be.
been he could have been. He's still the same age as the
Yeah.
rest of them the year prior and stuff. So it's
Right.
he could have got his son to help him out with that stuff.
Sure.
I do like the Bahamas setting for this movie.
Yeah.
They did do a pretty good job so far with the settings for their movies. So
Yeah. Yeah. I thought it was pretty good. I think that it's kind of, I can't remember when I was younger if I was kind of thrown off by it. I mean, the characters were, but they get to the Bahamas and it's like the off season. It's like
Yeah.
storm season.
yeah,
So why would the radio station give away tickets
because they're
to
cheap.
this?
Because these tickets are cheap.
Yeah.
And the fisherman's not a millionaire, so it's
Right,
like,
right. But if you're still under the impression that it's the radio,
yeah,
why would they do that?
Yeah.
And so is that a giveaway too?
Mm-hmm.
Or is that too subtle to where it's like not a giveaway that this was planned? I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I don't know.
Thought it was okay.
And the resort has these tickets. Like they were in communication with these people.
Yeah.
From the start. Like, all right.
Right. Yeah, it was pretty elaborate.
Yeah. Although they did mention that I guess the fisherman used to work there.
Yeah, something like that.
It's like, all right. So the Bahamas really isn't that far away from from
I don't know. I'm gonna have to look this up. Because I feel like you can't just take a boat to the Bahamas. Like, you have to fly there, right? Like, that's... I mean, I guess, or a cruise.
I mean, you can take a boat because
you could go on a
can
cruise
take
over there
to the Bahamas.
Yeah,
and they were
I have to look up the directions.
Yeah, yeah. How to get to the Bahamas from California? It's New England. I'm pretty sure is where like they're from, but
somewhere in that area.
Yeah.
Okay. So, maybe it was like Massachusetts or something. They might have said, Vermont. Maybe? I don't know.
I don't remember if they mentioned it, but I mean, it's wherever, I would assume New England's a pretty big fisherman area.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. True. Make some clam chowder over there.
Yeah, clam chowder.
All right. Well, anything else you wanted to add to this one before we grade it?
Not really. I mean, I think we pretty much covered it. Like, it's definitely bloodier than the first one. Especially that scene where they're going towards the ends, when they're trying to get to the radio, and the guy there's blood all over the walls. And I was like, wow, all right.
Yeah, that was pretty.
It's like a Terrifier scene.
Oh, something I'm glad that they. I mean, it was kind of a cheap way to kind of excuse it, but the first one ends with her like going into the shower and it's all fogged up, it's all steamy, and then somehow the fisherman like jumps through the glass.
I still know. He's just in the shower, just chilling.
Yeah,
it's very steamy, so he's been there in there for a while.
Yeah, he really turned up the heat,
taking a shower.
It's a pretty dumb way to end the movie. But so then they do kind of explain it away with she's been having these dreams.
Mm-hmm.
So they do mention that kind of in the beginning because she has a dream as the movie starts. That's how it starts, her having a dream with the fisherman and stuff. And so then, so that was another piece to the movie that, I guess it's okay that they kind of explained it away. They had to do something with the way the first one ended. So,
But then they do it again in this
Yeah.
one,
Yeah.
just slightly different. So it's like you was shot 8 times and lived,
Yeah.
and his son was hooked once.
Oh, that's the
Nice.
other thing. I don't claim to have all this knowledge about guns, but I'm pretty sure revolvers
That
are
was a
6
6-shooter.
bullets.
Yeah.
And she shot.
That was a
We
8.
rewound it and counted because it was like,
Mhm.
dude, that's way too many bullets.
Yeah.
And she, one of them didn't fire, so that means there wasn't a bullet in that. There was
Mhm.
nothing in that round in that chamber. So she should have had 5.
Yeah.
And what, 8 or 9 shots went off.
Jeez.
So
Yeah, I think I counted like 8 in that one.
okay, yeah,
So I'm
not
like,
good.
that's a
Come on, guys.
revolver.
Yeah,
That's not. I mean, and that's just 90s. That's 90s like action in general.
Yeah.
Like, there's way more bullets and guns in the 90s than
Yeah.
than in the real world.
Don't make it a 6-shooter then. Don't make it a
Yeah, I
revolver.
know. You
Like,
didn't
make
have
it
to
some
make
other
it
type of gun that isn't just
that.
general knowledge.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
have
it
her have a
could've- yeah.
machine gun or something.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, he just picks up a machine gun at a pawn shop.
Yeah. Got a little cameo from one of our Sons actors.
Oh, yeah,
Sons of
yeah.
Anarchy
Yeah,
in that pawn
Elvis,
shop.
right?
Yeah, Bobby.
Yep. Yeah, he was also in Memento. He
Yeah.
that's kind of what flashed for me was Memento because he was behind the counter,
Oh.
like doing
Yeah.
he was behind the counter in the hotel.
Mhm.
And then this one in the pawn shop.
Yeah.
So. All right, let's grade it. What do you got?
So I gave first one an 82. I'm gonna give this one an 83.
Okay, just one notch up.
Slightly more.
Okay.
Yeah. I like that it was an actual slasher, and not
Yeah.
like it was. The first one was good too, but like, there were 4 people around that died, and they might as well have been off-screen deaths because like it didn't show anything. But
true. All right. Well, I'll give it a 72.
All right.
Little under. When I, eventually go and watch I Know What You Did Last Summer again, I probably won't feel the need to watch I Still Know What You Did Last Summer.
Mm-hmm.
Unless, I'm watching with my kids or something and they really enjoy it and they want to watch the second one, then I will. But other than that, probably won't watch this movie anytime that I can think of. Just, and then there's I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer. And I actually have seen that. Have you seen that?
Yeah, we watched it together. Yeah,
did we? Okay, okay.
Yeah.
That one's interesting. If I remember correctly, it's not as bad as you think.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly. It's not as bad as you think. It came out way later after the I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. And it's okay. From what I remember.
It wasn't...
I have to check it out again. But
yeah, I've only seen it that one time, I think. And from what I remember, we've definitely reviewed worse movies than that movie was. Yeah. I think in that one it was like the ghost of the fisherman or something.
Yeah. He haunts the seaside town.
Which I'm like, at least he's not alive. Like,
yeah, I'll take that. Like I'm okay with that. Yeah. And it wasn't any of the same characters or anything, so it was just a completely different thing, but in the same setting, and I'm sure that the other characters are mentioned or whatever, but it's kind of its own story. So I remember it being pretty decent. It wasn't in theaters or anything. Went straight to DVD at the time. So we're not going to review it, you know. But
I might
go
watch
check
it
it out
sometime on my own, but
yeah, go check it out. We won't. Well, I guess we did kind of give away the it's a ghost, but
from what I remember, I think it was the ghost of. But it's like I said, I've only seen it once, and that was well over a decade ago at this point. So
I'm pretty sure you're right, but I think it's kind of obvious because he disappears and stuff. So I think and he's like see-through, or like, it doesn't seem like a person. So I don't think it's too much of a spoiler. But yeah, go ahead and check it out if you haven't seen it. I won't give too much more information about it. But yeah. So yes, that was a double feature. I know you did last summer. I still know what you did last summer. We actually
one other time.
Yeah, we did with My Bloody Valentine, right?
Yeah.
Way back in the day,
Yeah.
at least 3 years ago, was 2020 in February.
Yeah.
When we did that one. So go check out that if you'd like. And have a happy 4th of July. And also, we were on TV recently. Me and Katrina were. Joel, because he's out of state. He was not able to join us. But we were on the Sacramento Access Channel. So if you're local in the Sacramento area, you can go to their website and find it on demand, our interview. If, you can do that whether you're local or not. But also, if you're local, it aired already. I think it might air again, from what I understand. I'll have to look it up. But yeah, if you want to look up the, when it might air again, you can go to the Sacramento Access Channel website. And it was a good interview. We got to talk with Sacktown movie buffs Kier for a little while. He did a little interview with us, and we got to talk about Scare Talk for about 15, 16 minutes. So, yeah, go check that out. And we're gearing up for Insidious: The Red Door. That'll be
5. Well,
that'll be coming soon. So look out for that. And go listen to us on Spotify and watch us on Spotify if you haven't. If you're watching this on YouTube or listening on Apple, that's all good too. But go check us out on Spotify as well. That'll help us out. Yeah, that's it. Katrina usually says this has been Scare Talk. So I'll go ahead and say that. This has been Scare Talk.
Sleep tight.
Don't let the fisherman bite.